the Sweet 16 matchup with the Providence Friars and the Kansas Jayhawks. And Providence really, I think, has been playing the disrespect card from the outset of this tournament. Everybody, that was the dandy, darling underdog there, the South Dakota State Jackrabbits against the Providence Friars. And Providence rates very high, poorly, if you will, as far as fortunate wins or, the luck that they have experienced throughout the entire season in the Big East. But I think the competition that they played in the Big East, I mean, you look at the Big East all the way down to St. John, Xavier, that conference was very tough. So I actually was ready to go the other way with Providence against South Dakota State. And then they were not getting the love in their second round matchup with Richmond either. The Spiders there with that big win over Iowa in their first round matchup. Maybe they were ripe for a little bit of a letdown, but more so, I think this Providence team is just better than a lot of people are giving them credit for. And I know they have that fortune on their side and whatnot, but they're battle tested, I believe, because of the conference they play in. And yeah, I think they'll have a good matchup with the Jayhawks. I don't think the Jayhawks game or their effort against Creighton on Saturday was anything to get real excited about.
It's interesting with the Jayhawks offense, too, because Remy Martin came back. He's one of the best in the business. He was the preseason Big 12 Player of the Year. His teammate Ochai Agbaji ended up winning it because Martin was out most of the year. So Martin is just a flat-out scorer. I feel like it's something that Kansas hasn't had since Frank Mason a few years ago, where you just put the ball in his hands and the guy can put it up. But I also feel like Agbaji has had to try to understand his new role. David McCormack has a bad foot. A lot of things that are a little unsettling with Kansas, but let's face it, they're the much more talented team, up and down. And I know Bill Self says this isn't the most athletic, talented team. I think this is an extraordinarily talented team when you compare it to the rest of this field. And ultimately, for me, it's going to come down to this for Providence. You hit your threes. They hit their threes in the Big East. You hit your threes. Kansas going to be a little scared. They go cold from the floor. Kansas could roll.
It looks like money on Providence and the over is where the early betting has started. Kansas opened up as an 8.5-point favorite with a total of 139.5. The total currently up to 141.5. And the Friars now catching 7.5 points there. So the early money apparently on the over and the underdog.
Get prepared for all the madness with daily best bet emails. Plus, full access to VEASAN through April 5th for only $19 at VEASAN.com/madness.